Well, we were in the townhome and we found that maneuvering around the house was going to be a long-term issue. The first thing I did before I even thought about moving is what can we do in this townhouse? What are our options here? So I brought in our physiotherapist and occupational therapist and said, okay, what can we do here? They described what can be done, and we were obviously not very pleased with what can be done. It was a small townhouse. There's only so many options that you could do. So when we chose to move, and we decided the time was right to move from our townhome, the first thing we did was actually look at the option of resale homes. And we thought it'd just be a quicker move, just to get in, do what we need to do when the time comes, and deal with it then. So we probably looked at 20 homes, resale homes, between Mississauga and Milton over the course of a year, and as a matter of fact. And walking into a resale home, the first thing you look at, where is the major modification going to be made in this home? And I think it's funny because my husband and I, we walk in a house and we'd be like, okay, where's the wheelchair lift going to go? Where is this going to go? Is it possible to do this?
Where's the hole in the ceiling going to go?
Where's the hole in the ceiling going to go for? Can an elevator be put in here? So looking at resale, looking at new construction, the cost of the resale, the cost of new construction, the house, can a resale do what we need to do? Can the new construction do what we need to do? And our best option obviously was this house, for one, because it provided the size, it provided the costs, and the cost of the modifications, like we mentioned, were so low enough we can roll it into our mortgage. And two-story, you get a lot of space on both. If you were to take the space on a bottom floor, take space on top, you get a lot more room. So maybe it's room that we need later. I think we just have to wait and see what our needs are later down the road. We're happy to walk into a newly constructed, modified home ready to live in. So this house does definitely suit us long term. After taking a look at the plans, back and forth, and with Tanya educating me as well what I should be looking for, we narrowed it down to this particular house. And with that, we took the original plans of the house and we took a look and we thought, okay, where can we make these modifications? How can the child enter the home? How can we get the child stayed on the main level? We should be able to have a bedroom on the main level. Can we make a wheelchair accessible bathroom on the main level? So we took a look at the original plans from the builder and thought, okay, can we work with this? So back and forth with Tanya, maybe 2-3 times, even before we even decided on this house, we wanted to make sure that this had potential. And once Tanya and I talked and we saw the potential in the house, I went to the builder and said, okay, this is what we would like to do. This is the house that we believe that we can do this with. And can you let us know if we were able to do the things that we need to do? Can we keep our daughter on the main level, have the wheelchair accessible bathroom? Can you do this for us before we even decide on buying this home? They came back with us, they said it can be done, and we went forward. We signed on the dotted line, bought the house, and we started from there. And we took the original plans and we worked from scratch. We are in Haley's bedroom, and we also have her bathroom here, which is an extension of a powder room. And this was previously on the layout as a living room, dining room. So what we chose to do was to keep her on the main level. We converted this room into a bedroom. And of course, we extended the powder room to accommodate a wheelchair accessible bathroom. This room here that we decided to choose for a bedroom, as I mentioned, was supposed to be the living room and dining room combination. And the one thing that we didn't anticipate, and we didn't even know when we did buy the house, that there was going to be a vaulted ceiling. It wasn't actually until we sat down with the builder and we were sitting with the design team to choose our accessories, such as kitchen cabinetry, the colors, and again, I had to go back to the builder, get him to contact them, come in, told them what we needed to do, and say, get back to us, let us know what's underneath this, because in order to put a ceiling truss system, we need to have the security that the system can even stay within the walls and the ceiling. And again, along with that, we also had the vendor come out and assess and let us know what type of system we can use. So once again, it was a back and forth situation with the builder, back and forth situation with Aaron Oak, and a back and forth situation with the vendor. And we had to couple that all together and find out what would work. And it turned out that there's nothing behind there that would affect a ceiling track system. And we are able to put a system in here, and they did come in and they did a quotation on the type of system that we would use. Simply, it is going to come from the edge of this wall. It's going to run across the top. It's going to be secured, and it's only going to be stationary here. So the ceiling track system would run right across there. The drop would come right above the bed, so we have to make sure that the bed is in place. We would have to get the sling to come down to the appropriate spot where we can safely lift the child, bring her across, and place enough equipment in this area of space here, whether it be the wheel-in shower seat or even a wheelchair, to place her in here. So along with putting the bed in the appropriate spot, you also have to make sure you have enough space for the type of equipment you're going to put the child in, and turn as well to make sure that where you're going to be turning and leading to is going to go to where you need to go, and there's going to be enough widened space to get there. The builder had decided to use this section here to build the shower. The toilet and the sink had to be realigned to the back wall here, and in order to do that, they had to redo the plumbing. They also added a more powerful fan, because of course it's going to be a shower, so they had to add a more powerful fan. And the reason they moved everything back here was to make the radius bigger than 5 feet. So we have one side of the bathroom here and the shower on this side. And the plumbing made it a lot easier to extend it that way, so that way they could put the sink and the toilet on that end. They did an excellent job, and the first design that they did on paper, they designed it completely, and I talked to Tanya, and we both believed that the shower was not large enough. So we asked them to, again, extend it an extra foot wide. I think it was supposed to be, they originally had 3 feet, but then they extended it to 4 feet. Therefore, in order to accommodate the radius, they did make the bathroom even longer. So we're looking at probably about 10 feet, if not 11 feet in total length. But we have plenty of room, and there's plenty enough space in the shower to accommodate the child as well as the caregiver. And we have plenty of room to move her around if you need to get inside. Yeah, as the equipment gets bigger, we could still be able to even move her side to side. They suggested that using a smaller tile would be more safe. That way we have more grout, less tile, and it'll prevent the floor from being slippery. More grout, more grip. Planning the design of the bathroom, we had to go back and forth with the builder probably, and Aaron Oak, maybe about 2 or 3 times, just to make sure we got everything correct. We had to make the shower from what was originally 3 by 5 to extended by 4 by 5. And with that, we also had to let them know that they also had to continue along with like a 5-foot turning radius. We still needed room for that, as well as just to have the regular accessories of bathroom, like a toilet and sink. Now that we have added a shower, we need to add a more powerful fan. We had to reinforce the one wall here. We also had to reinforce the back wall here. Should in the future come time that we would have to add bars, any other type of accessories that would help. When we first cleaned the shower, when we first moved in, we had to do the initial cleaning just for ourselves. We found that when we ran the water started to come through across the floor and started to leak down our floor. We thought, okay, we have a grade problem here. We had turned it off, left the bathroom. We called the builder, notified him of the problem, and from there we decided to have a meeting along with the builder. I also asked if we can bring in Aaron Oak to come in to talk about what the problem is. So they came in and they fixed it, and they fixed the grade. They added in the the flap to wheel over, so that way it also prevents any kind of water spillage coming over the floor. But the grate is fixed now, and it works perfectly fine. One of the things that we noticed in the original plans that was a very, very nice option in terms of decide on having this living room, dining room chosen, was the fact that this was already widened. This was already a widened door, and we didn't have to widen the door whatsoever. It was completely widened. All we did, we asked the builder if they can add this door. So with the privacy of opening and closing the door, and obviously not having it open like a living room and dining room, you'd have a door to close it to make it look like a bedroom and have that less noise and more privacy for the individual, along with any type of caregivers that need to do the work with her. So the builder has chosen to add the wide door, and it is also wide enough to open where it's not going to affect the hallway along with the entrance up the stairs. Another nice feature of this home is that we have double doors. We are able to open one side. However, if we choose, we can also have them both opened. And we chose this as well in case there was a potential of putting a ramp from the front of the house, and instead of always using the garage, we can have that option as well. We had a lower threshold, which is easier for a wheelchair to come in and out of the house. So we always have that option as well. Over here is the access to the garage and access to the basement. In the original plans, there is a step down. And we knew that would definitely be an issue because we thought one of the options to have the access into the home was through the garage. So we asked the builder if there was a potential to raise the floor, eliminate the step, so it would be flush to the main floor here. They said they would look into it, got back to us, and they said that would not be a problem. All they would need to do, of course, was, again, elevate the floor to make it flush with the main floor here. They would also have to raise stairs in order to meet the height of the floor. That would be flush along with the garage as well. So originally, it would have been a step down the garage to the basement. Therefore, they had to bring the stairs up higher. So they added a step, an extra step up, which is also accommodated in the cost. And I can honestly say that the cost to do this was very minimal, very surprising. We didn't have to widen any hallways. We didn't have to widen any doorways. It was perfectly planned to maneuver around the house from the hall to the kitchen to our family room back into the hallway without any issues and without any cost to do so.
When it came down to the remodeling of the Haley's bathroom and all that, we had to make a decision if we were going to use funding towards that. But being that Mattamy was so good at their cost of doing the modifications, that we decided just to pay for it ourselves, enroll it into our mortgage, and just, you know, I mean, it's only this much difference, right? And we saved the funding that we get for other things that we decided that would be more important down the road.
And the decision to roll the costs into our mortgage, is it going to be affecting our mortgage payments? Is it going to be substantial or not? It's so minimal you wouldn't even notice the difference.
And especially, you know, I don't know, being on one income, you know, it was not too bad priced. So, I mean, obviously we can afford it on one income to do it, then, you know, it worked out for us that way. Also, you know, the modifications inside the house are great, but it's the stuff that we also get outside. Like the other house, the townhome we're in, had a single driveway, one car in the garage, one car out, and we shared it with the neighbor's car. So I couldn't go down that side of the driveway before I didn't want to scratch his car. So we're trying to go in on the grass and between our cars, trying to get Haley down to the bus, and it was tight, right? Like, it was hard, and then you get tired moving cars in and out. With this new construction, the bigger driveway now is easier now because cars are parked apart. We can walk down the driveway with her. You know, lots of room for the bus to pull up and pick her up, and you see the ramp that I had to build out there for her, which is was really nice. It's easier to slide her down there and get her out to the bus. We did use the front door for a while, but once they finished the grade and the steps, it was kind of tough for Susie to do it when I wasn't home. So I built that ramp, and it's much easier now. Just open the door and down she goes right to the garage. And
Yeah, and out the door.
I mean, yeah, we lose inside parking, but I mean, sacrifice, I don't care, right? As long as Haley has no problem, Susie getting her out, fire, emergency. Eventually, we're gonna put a porch lift there, and then I'll take that out, and then we can put back her van in one side of the garage, so she can unload Haley groceries or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
and
come time when we get the modified van.
modified van,
And,
chairlift.
yeah.
But for now, I think you know, that's a pretty good job I did. First ramp ever built, you know. So we're talking about the ramp in the garage, and then also you're saying the front of the house with the threshold. There's also room to build a ramp out there, and I like to do these things, but you know, I don't want it to make it look like it's a wheelchair access house if I don't have to. You know, give her what she needs, but hide it in a way where people are not going to drive down and say, "Oh, that's a wheelchair lift. Or there must be a handicapped person living there." And I feel selfish saying that, but when I get the best of both, have a nice looking home, nice stonework, maybe build up the walkway so she's a wheel right down, and it's one thing to have all this, you know, special equipment for handicapped children and all that, but does my house have to look like a house with a special needs child inside? I went out there one day, a couple of days off, and I built a patio. If you see the patio stones, I cut all that out and all that so we can wheel Haley down there in the backyard. So we're barbecuing, we can eat in the table and chairs in the back. She's out there with us.
In the townhome, there was restricted space. You had to keep her in a certain area.
In the living room.
In the living room to feed her, to play between your couches, your tables, your sitting area. We were just crammed, and it wasn't even comfortable just to enjoy. It's not even enjoyable anymore because now we're just sort of trying to fit in where we can fit in. We have people over, and we're all crammed. Just enjoying daily life. This house just gives us so much more room. The layout, having certain things placed in certain areas makes it easier for us, like a second floor laundry. That's more luxurious to us. Having a nice ensuite bathroom, just the luxuries of what a new home can also give the family, even just for us for enjoyment, because I think it's important for us just to have those little things that make life easier, not just easier for us, to make us happy.